Is it working? Yep. Hi, good morning, guys. Thanks for joining in. I wasn't really expecting people to be here because I think there's a schedule for break-in and everything. So thanks for joining in. My name is Neha Jain, and I'm from Bombardier. Hands in the air for all those who know about Bombardier, except the ones who have been meeting me in last 2 days and know. All right, so I see not much people. Sorry, the mic is not working. All right, so what Bombardier does is we are a 75-year-old company and we manufacture planes. We manufacture trains, we manufacture business jets, and all that makes you mobile. So we are into manufacturing of huge products. We have almost 73 engineering and production sites across 28 countries. So you can imagine the widespread count that we have, the wide footprint that we have. In this session, I would be covering our IAM journey, what really triggered the need of an IAM tool, what we did to identify the right tool, how it was implemented, and what was the value that it basically brought to our organization. And overall, a probably quick snapshot on our experience. So moving on to the next slide, what really triggered the need of an IAM tool? Our Bombardier slogan believes in evolution of mobility, which certainly drives us as a part of cybersecurity team to deliver not just the IT support, but intelligent solutions. When I say intelligent solution, that certainly brings around technology. Now, technology, again, has to be a reliable technology that aligns with your business requirement, that can enable your colleagues to use that technology, right? Our business believes in technological innovation, and so do we. Technology itself just not suffice, so there is another product that we need to focus on is our processes. We need to identify processes, we need to identify standards, directives, and best practices to deliver technology, right? So just the technology, just the processes, they have to work in tandem together. Just one piece doesn't really suffice. Now, based on these tools, having said that, okay, we have technology in place, we have processes in place, what next? Our business is going digital, and I think digital is the new keyword, the new buzz in the industry. Everybody wants to go digital, and so the business expects us as part of IAS team or the solutions team to provide them with digital solutions. How can we go digital in a business environment? We need to provide self-help tools to the business so that they're not always relying to the conservative mode of service desk and calling the service desk agents, calling the IT support. We need to empower our business, right? So in that, we identified that there are major fragments that are missing from our industry. So I'll start with the issues that we initially identified. The major issue was user management. When we say user management, I think we've been hearing in the last 3 days, it's the identity management. Who owns the identity? Who creates the identity? Who evaluates the identity? Now, when a user joins in the organization, can you imagine it used to take us 4 weeks to deliver an identity with the correct authorization? It was something we have given a Ferrari to a user, we have hired a user with a niche skill, and we tell them, okay, you can't drive because you do not still have the access, you still do not have the computer to work on. So it was actually becoming very frustrating. There was no automated provisioning, no automation of the processes, and even the slightest automation that we had, it was all the scripts, which used to be very cumbersome. Now, this is just the onboarding. How about if a user is moving around? Again, we had no clue as to what accesses needs to be provisioned. If there are any changes that were being done on the identity, there was no visibility. Offboarding was totally out of scope. So this was one piece that we really wanted to work on. The next was access warehouse. Everybody since last 2 days is talking on the access management. Who is having access to what? Do we really have visibility with the complex environments that we are into? The answer was certainly no. I am moving from team A to team B. I had accesses which were relevant to team A. I now have access relevant to X team A plus team B. But at any point of time, if I want to identify what are the accesses that my identity is holding on, I really had no database because I have to go into Active Directory, I have to check on the role groups, AD groups, but there was no central database. Levers was again totally out of question. So the third piece that we identified, legacy. Everybody is hearing about legacy applications. So Bombardier has a history of 75 years old, which means there have been a lot of mergers. There have been a lot of acquisitions. We have bring along with us a complex architecture. We have with us a lot of ERP applications. So ERP, again, when we talk about, we usually talk about SAP, we talk about Oracle. Have we really heard about BAN? We have almost 5 instances of SAP and multiple instances of Oracle and lot many ERP solutions. So legacy, I think we all have to accept the fact we can't get rid of legacy. No matter how much we upgrade our architecture, how much we move to cloud, when you talk about the business solution, it's not easy to get rid of the legacy applications. There are applications which are AD integrated, and there are applications which are non-AD integrated for the obvious reasons, the way business demands. The fourth problematic area, multiple Active Directories. I don't know about how many Active Directories your organizations have, but my organization has 5 Active Directories. One is reserved for our legacy applications. One is reserved for the new user IDs. There is one that we plan to upgrade, which is Azure Active Directory. The one is only for my external consumers, and there is another one for my legacy applications. So, multiple Active Directories. Do you really think so? It was easy to manage? Certainly not. So, the last one, we need to go digital. We need to have self-service password management tools. We need to empower our business to do self-services. We need to get rid of our legacy service desk agents and the conservative mode of support. So this is what we realized probably 8 years back. Bombardier, when we outsourced all our IT support services to our vendor, and we realized the time that it is taking, with no visibility, the legacy that we have. So we thought it's time that we should improve our support model. The business is evolving. Our business believes in mobility. So what do they expect from IS teams? We need to make them mobile, right? We need to support them. We started a hunt for one of the user reference database. So what we did is we went into the market. So 8 years back, so this is not something that we did right away, but this journey started 8 years back when we first evaluated our architecture. We did our homework. We talked to all the respective stakeholders, including HR, who supposedly accept that, yes, we own the identity. Then we talked to the AD architecture, who say that, okay, we are the custodians of the data, we own the identity. And cybersecurity, of course, the risk, we own the identity. So each one of them were involved, and we identified what exactly we are looking for. We are looking for a solution which is holistic. When I say holistic, it means the solution should be able to provide all the functionalities that an IAM solution is supposed to do. I, as a consumer, may not utilize or implement all the solutions, but what I would be looking forward is, based on my problems, the solution should be able to do automated provisioning. The solution should provide access certification, single sign-on, and data analytics, everything. So we understand that the architecture changes every 5 years, right? But considering the support model, the business model of Bombardier, whereby we are producing not a small product, we are producing a we are producing a plane, we are producing trams, we are producing trains. It takes 5 years to develop a product. So how do we expect our architecture to also change within 5 years? It's not possible. But what we are looking forward is a holistic solution which is based on next generation architecture. API driven. What do we mean by APIs? We already mentioned we have such complex architecture, including legacy, including non-AD applications. Do you really think so that we can plan to move all our non-AD integrated applications into AD? Not possible. What we need to do is we need to have APIs. Customization. Who doesn't love customization? You give me a standard tool and you tell me that, okay, make changes in your environment and this is how the tool will work. But it doesn't work our way. I cannot ask my business to change, but I can ask, if I'm going for a new tool, I can ask them for a customization. You go to a pizza store, and if they tell you, ma'am, you have an option to customize an extra cheese, extra bacon, extra sausage, who doesn't love it? So we do love customizations. Scalability. Bombardier is scalable. We are changing. Not sure if everybody has heard about it, but Bombardier has two sister companies, including transportation and aerospace, each having a headcount of 25,000. So we have recently made changes and we are merging. So we go from 25,000 to 50,000 and we may be growing. So we expect our application to be scalable too. Easy admin. So any tool can be implemented, but does it really make sense if we are not able to administer? No. We need to govern. We need to have some matrix in place to identify if the tool that is being implemented can be administered. Is it actually delivering what we were looking for? So a Moscow analysis was done. I'm sure everybody is aware. It's a prioritization technique to identify what are the must-have, what are the should-have, could-have, and won't-have. So we identified these 5 basic features: holistic, API-driven, customize, scalable, and easy administration to be the must-have of this tool. And eventually, we landed with Tuebora. So where are we today? The journey with Tuebora started 3 years back. So if you look at it, we took almost 4 years to do our homework, to identify the architecture, to take the approvals, and we all know getting IAM tool is not that easy. Getting funding is not easy. Convincing, not easy. So 3 years before we started our journey, what we did, we improved our user management, we improved our access warehousing and self-service portal. How did we automate our provisioning? For the new joiners, we created APIs which will integrate our Active Directory, our SAP HR core data, and our Azure Active Directory. So now what happens? The user joining, which used to take 4 weeks, so I'll tell you 4 weeks is exceptional. This is not what we used to do for all the users. But yes, we used to have cases for 4 weeks. So now, automated provisioning, it just takes 24 hours. The user gets created, the request is generated by HR, the user is created in Active Directory, the licenses get assigned, and everything, tuck, 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 tuck. 24 hours, and we are done. Movers. User is moving from one team to another team. The HR updates the data, it gets reflected in Active Directory, it gets updated in Outlook contact link cards. There is no manual intervention that is required anymore. So this is how we have done. I'll discuss in levers in detail in second point, because this is something that we have really worked on hard. But there is one point that I would like to highlight. It is not just the tool that has improved our user onboarding, it's our processes. We identified how we want to do it. It's not just what we want to do it, but how it should be delivered. What are the processes that need to be followed? What are the standards? What should be the directives whenever new user identity is created in the organization? Yep. So the access warehouse, data repository of who has access to what. So I would like to remind you guys, we have Active Directory integrated applications, and we have non-Active Directory integrated applications. With my tool being integrated with Active Directory, it is certainly easy to get information as to who has access to what for my AD integrated applications. How about non-AD integrated applications? How do we do that? So we created an API between our request management system and our Active Directory, and whenever the request is approved in the access system, it gets updated in my IAM tool, and it tells me that, okay, The user's request has been approved. This is what the access has been. How it has helped us? We all are aware on GDPR. Europe has updated its general data protection laws, which allows users data privacy guidelines. User has the right to ask, what is my personal data, where is my personal data being stored in the organization? Who has access to it? Why are you accessing it? I mean, without their consent, we cannot use that data, and I think we discussed this. This is also another part of digitalization. How it helped us? Recently, when GDPR was launched, users came back to us. Tell me what personal data you guys are storing for me. Who is accessing it to what? What we did it, we went to the IAM tool, entered the ID, what all access, application managers tell what personal data is stored, and we are done. Was it possible without IAM tool? No, certainly not, because we wouldn't have known which application managers to reach out to inform us what personal data is being stored. Automated access of revocation of levers. This is very interesting. A levers process is not just to disable the ID, but also revoke the application access. Now, the automation that we have done, once SAP HR data updates the last working day, it disables the ID, and we are done. And for sure, the moment SAP HR updates, I mean HR updates the data in SAP, there is nothing that we need to do. But there is another task that we need to do in simultaneously is revoking the access. So what happens now that whenever we receive a request of a lever, the team identifies the access that they have, and in case of non-AD integrated applications, there is another automated process which triggers a request to all non-AD integrated application managers, and they revoke the access. So at this point of time, if you look at it, we are doing pretty good with our access warehouse, but there's still some manual steps that are being required. The other part that we implemented was self-service portal. Going digitalize, yeah? So self-service portal, self-password reset. How many times we call service desk agents, or probably even if for my credit card, if I have to get a PIN reset, if I call up service desk, their customer care, and you have to wait for hours, or not for hours, but for minutes, and it becomes very frustrating. Press 1, press 2, you will be routed to this. How about if we are given an option, okay, download an app, enter the details, reset the password, and there you are. So there we are. You just need to, your system is not working, your account has expired, you go to your colleague's machine, you enter your details, and we have ensured that this is all secure, yeah? The data privacy is being taken care, all security guidelines are being followed, and we have a secure solution in place. There is another self-service request that we have done is updating the contact details of a user. So there are times when we have to update our address. I moved from one place to another. I moved from one office to another. So I don't really need to reach out to my teams to do that. I can do it by myself. I have another web interface. I just punch in my details. It will show me what are the current details. You want to make changes in contact details and contact address, and you just update the details, and within the next 24 hours, you'll see all the details are being updated. There's another automation which is being enabled from HR. So you change your team, you get promoted, or whatever changes in related to the HR data, there is nothing that you need to do. You move from one country to another, or you move from one place to another, or you move from one team to another, everything is being taken care. The HR updates, the IAM tool automatically updates. So we have reduced a lot of manual intervention. Now with manual intervention, we have certainly reduced a lot of manual errors as well. Based on these three major foundations that we have laid, these are the value realizations that we have brought to our organization so far. The operational efficiency of any tool is measured based on the reduced time, reduced cost, and reduced efforts. I can reset the password myself. Do I really need to reach out to service desk agents anymore? No. The call flow for us was 2,000 requests per day. Has this been reduced? Certainly yes. You can imagine, 30,000 users we are supporting. 2,000 password resets is a legitimate request. But now, no more. What has helped us here is we no longer need service desk agents. I mean, we have not got rid of complete service desk agents, but yes, there is a reduction in the count, there's a reduction in the time, and there's a reduction in the complete workforce that we used to have for service desk agents. Self-help. It has improved user experience. We know for sure it happens with all of us. You give us an app, give us an interface which we can do it by ourselves. I know I don't have to be dependent on the time. I know I don't have to be dependent on the technology. Whenever I want to do it, wherever I am, I just simply log in and I change my password. Single password. All right, so I forgot to mention this. We have enabled, okay, there was a password which was being used for Lotus Notes. We have 6,000 Lotus Notes-based applications. So you can imagine, every time my business wants to log into any of the Lotus Notes-based application, they have to enter a username and password, or we all know how complicated it is, the Lotus Notes interface to change the password, the Lotus Notes ID files, the keys, and everything. What we did is we enabled synchronization with Lotus Notes. So user, they no longer have to enter whenever they want to access a Lotus Notes-based application. They just simply click on the Lotus Notes and boom, everything is there. They no longer have to remember multiple passwords. They no longer have to do sign-ons, multiple sign-ons. It just enables them single sign-on. Security compliance. We already discussed what happened with the GDPR. We have validation reports with us. We do have all the entitlement reporting with us. So this certainly helps us in getting rid of the orphaned and dormant accounts that existed in our system. We no longer have to check manually as to is there any unauthorized access which is being provided to the user or to any customer? No. The audits. So Bombardier goes through an external audit, which is CASRA audits. Not sure how many of you have heard, but then we have been going green with CASRA audits, so this is an achievement for us. Yeah. Leaver termination. When a user leaves the organization, how many managers are really interested in getting the ID disabled? I have seen many, they are not interested. When a user joins in, there is a lot of hoo-halla. Oh, I need the ID to be ready, my team member is joining. When my team member is leaving, am I really interested in informing the ID, please disable the ID? No, it's no longer required either. The moment HR updates, the ID gets disabled, and we are done. Yep. So in a nutshell, we realized we moved this whole process in phases. We initially did automated provisioning for 1 year. We started 3 years back, I mentioned. So for 1 year, we did our automated provisioning. We went for our Plan, Do, Check, Act, the conservative Deming cycle. And then we moved to our next step, which was automation of the password SSO and self-service tools. And this is now we are heading towards next. Oops, sorry, my bad. So as we can say that based on the previous slides, we are into the done mode, but not yet into the done mode. So we are ready for our next leap, and this is exactly what we are looking forward to. We need to extend JML automation, joiners, movers, levers, to our non-AD integrated. We still have some sort of manual intervention which we want to get rid of. Access certification, that needs to be automated again. There is a request, there is a homegrown Lotus Notes-based access request which exists in our system. We want to get rid of it. The moment the request is approved, the access group should be automatically assigned. We need not to have any agents to do the access provisioning. So these are our next steps. And we are looking forward in probably next couple of years. But yes, what we have done is we have gone for a phased approach. We just didn't go for a big bang theory. Okay, IAM tool, implement everything. No. We went for a phased approach. We did a Plan, Do, Check, Act. Then we moved to next phase, Plan, Do, Check, Act. And this is what we will be doing now. So overall, the IAM journey, I would say it's a journey and not a destination that we just need to go for. The business continuously changes. The business support model changes. The architecture changes. And so we have to change. So What we need to identify is we need to pick a tool which is agile, adaptive, and intelligent based on our business requirements. It's very important to do the right homework, identify your architecture, identify your business needs, and accordingly pick the right tool. Go for a phased automation. Do not automate everything in one go. It only amplifies complexities. Imagine if we would have done everything in one go, things which have been implemented in 1 year would have taken 2 years, 3 years, and after 3 years, the program management team would have said, it's a failure. It took a lot of time. So always go for a phased automation. And the last thing which everybody is already talking about, IAM is not only about technology, people, process, but it is about more of people and process and less of technology. I can use any product provided I have the right people and I have the right processes. I'll give you an example. This is very interesting. So this is related to the SOD conflicts. So we have a new supplier who would be supporting our IT services, and we asked them that, okay, you need to create an SOD model for us. What they did was they downloaded it from SANS because obviously they are the best to identify what should be the SOD conflicts. And if you look into the graph, there are crosses, who needs to have access to what. Since there was no expertise, no knowledge, what they did is they reversed. Instead of the checks, they picked up what was the blanks. So it's not just the technology that we can have. We need to have right people, right processes in place. Without any standards in my organization, trust me, the technology will fail. We need to be very stringent with our directives, what exactly we want to go for, and then we need to identify how we want to go for. So this is our journey, and this has not yet ended. It just started. We are ready to take the next leap, and so this is it from my side. Any questions, anyone? We just finished on time.
One question.
Yep.
So, yeah, very detailed, interesting presentation. Thanks for that. So one point you mentioned, you started with a very manual, traditional style of
Yes.
managing identities. Right?
Yes.
And then you guys decided to automate. You planned.
Yes, yes.
What was the trigger point? And I'm asking you specifically as a sort of what's your advice to our customers, because there are many of them who are in initial phases of identity management, and they are in a frog in a frying pan syndrome. They do not know when to jump out. So what was the trigger point for you?
Trigger point I mentioned, it was 4 weeks. I gave user a Ferrari, I hired someone with a niche scale, and I told him, dude, Ferrari is here, but you cannot drive it. It's been 4 weeks now. And somebody who joins the organization, trust me, it's a very bad experience. What am I here for, right? You are hiring me. Okay, let's understand the business support model. Now, business doesn't understand the language of APIs, the architecture. What they understand is the plants. I have huge manufacturing plants. I have rolling stocks. They have to develop a plane, a train. They're not really interested if the IAM is being taken care of, if it is secure or not. So when you tell them that, okay, boss, we are arranging for you a laptop, we are arranging for you an identity and access and authorization, for them, it's like, sorry, dude, I really can't wait. I have many better organizations. So we need to be very agile and quick. The slogan for Bombardier is evolution of mobility. We need to be mobile, right? My business believes in being mobile, and so we, as a part of, I'll say, IT team or IS support team, we need to be very quick. We cannot have our business wait for 4 weeks. Yeah, so it's all business driven. I hope this answers, yeah? Thank you. Any other questions, please? Yep.
Hi, thanks for sharing your story. Did Tuebora play a part in the ultimate vision roadmap?
Yes, certainly. And even going forward, if you look at it, I just mentioned that, we identified our issues, we broke them into 5 fragments. Okay, so now you have to imagine that we are a manufacturing plant, we do not have the expertise, right? We would need some expert to tell us, okay, how we can go forward, what should be the vision, right? The vision certainly comes from the business. So I would say, the strategy, the vision is from the business or from our leadership team. But how to take forward, how to move, that is something that Tuebora has always helped us. Yep.
From a
Both, both. Yep.
And where does the product stack?
It's on premise. It's in our architecture. We have on premise servers to host this application, but the services are supported by the vendor directly. Yep. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for joining the session and giving your time. Have a great day. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.